Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
British Spy Stories Season 6 Counter-Strike Episode 13. Gabby sits in her hotel room in the centre of Luxembourg City, reading a risk assessment that London sent her half an hour ago, after Tarma Raban had given her the place and time to meet the E-bomb supplier. London's view is that the abandoned factory at 78 Rue de la Sarrie is almost impossible to secure. The whole area around it, called Hollerich, is littered with dilapidated warehouses and factories, which had bustled with industrial activity until 50 years ago. Then, time had moved on and Hollerich hadn't. Given that Raban also wants to meet at midnight, London have classified the whole meeting as a Category 3 event, highly dangerous. The recommendation is for armed snipers on rooftops across the street, and a covert surveillance vehicle parked on the side of the road, with armed security, ready to deploy if the risk level escalates. As Talgarth opens the bedroom door, Gabby quietly deletes the report in her MI6 inbox. "We're going in tonight, Ivy, to meet Raban. Just you and me, on our own." They eat late in the hotel restaurant and Gabby's phone buzzes with a message from their driver, Michael, at 11:30 to say that he's outside. The Range Rover moves off southwards towards the Bonnevoie district, then over the vast array of railway lines that define the central station area. As they turn west, the streets become increasingly lined with abandoned memories of Luxembourg's industrial past. The rusting gates of the factory have been opened and they lean over precariously in the darkness, their hinges having long ago given up trying to provide any support. Michael steers the Range Rover inside the site and pulls up near a loading bay on one side of the main building. "We'll go and have a recce," Gabby says to Talgarth. "We'll take the Glocks." The women pull out their handguns and check the magazines before sliding them back into place. "Comms in," she says, and they all insert SY6 transceivers into their ears, which are undetectable unless the enemy is an expert in covert surveillance. "Stay here, Michael. Tell us as soon as you see anything." The women step out onto the concrete that stretches for 50 yards from the factory wall to peripheral fencing. Gabby finds a broken access door, and she and Talgarth slip inside the building. The place has great lakes of water on the floor from the damaged roof above. They run in silence to offices on the far side, and take turns to cover each other, and go into every room in sequence, but there's no one here. They scout the rest of the interior in the remaining minutes, and Gabby is satisfied that Raban has not hidden away any of his men in the shadows. "Vehicles, Mum." Michael's voice is in their ears, and Gabby leads Talgarth back the way they came. 2 black Audi Q7s pull off the road and into the compound. The arc lamps around the site are all long inoperative, and the only illumination is from the moonlight that bounces off the bodywork of the vehicles as they circle like dogs around a sleeping basket. The Audis stop in the middle of the open space, and Gabby and Talgarth start to walk across to them, but the doors don't open. When they get nearer, a driver does step out from one of the vehicles, and he opens a rear door. Raban looks older in this place than in his home, Gabby thinks. All of her senses are pouring data into her brain as the man walks towards them. Ladies? He nearly smiles. Did you bring him? I did. Why are we waiting? Says Gabby. He wants some reassurance. About what? Her eyes narrow as her heart's rhythm rises. He wants protection. From whom? You, says Raban. He doesn't know you. He only deals with people he knows. Then why are we here? She says. He's prepared to talk and clear the air. I don't understand, Raban. You'll see. Tama Raban turns back to the Audis and raises his hand. The driver again pulls at a handle on a rear door. A small dark-haired man with a beard appears. As he walks towards them, Gabby types out a message to Michael, using the fingertip contact pads on her hand, to ask questions without raising suspicions. She types asking for background on this new man as he approaches. Michael photographs the bearded man from behind the blacked-out windows of the Range Rover and instantly sends the images into MI6 control. In London, an operator selects a photo recognition application to run a facial match. It takes the man 12 seconds to walk from the Audi to the group. As he arrives, Gabby and Talgarth hear the London operator's voice speaking into their earpieces. He's Martin Balak, a Polish national, a gun runner and people smuggler. Extensive links to the Russian intelligence service. Interpol have issued 3 red notices for him over the last 10 years, but he's never been found. He uses several aliases. Miss Altman, Miss Skench, let me introduce you, says Raban, and they all shake hands. This is the supplier of the electromagnetic device recently used in Amsterdam. We're interested in procuring another device, says Gabby. We have a client in Slovenia. Our business is... I know your business. The bearded man interrupts her. His tone is dead flat. Haraban said you needed some reassurance before dealing with us, says Gabby. What do you need? I know that you're both MI6, says the bearded man. Talgarth laughs. We're wasting our time here, she says. I know that because my nom de guerre is Karygin. I was asked to kill you at Prague airport. But I mistakenly delegated the task to one of my local men, and he gave it to some boy who had never killed before. You quite rightly dealt with him. What do you want? I work for the Russians, says Karygin. They want Alexei Orlov. He escaped, says Gabby. Thanks to your E-bomb. We were supposed to kill him in Amsterdam, but he had other ideas. His men hijacked my team and killed them just before we were due to attack you. Well, that explains something to me. Karygin tries to smile. Now I need you to find him and hand him back to us. For you to then kill him, presumably, she says. He's worth a lot to us. He's been a senior member of the SVR for 25 years. He knows everyone who's important in Russian intelligence. Maybe even the names of all the sleeper spies and double agents in the West. We'd never hand him over to you. Then we will kill his family. We know where they are. We have an assassin with them who we call Troika. Troika will kill them as soon as I give the command. The death of an innocent mother and her 2 teenage children. The British can't allow that to happen, surely. Especially when the story gets leaked to your Western media to show the incompetence of MI6. It'll never happen, Karygin, says Gabby. You have 10 days. Then Troika will carry out my order. Raban and Karygin turn on their heels and walk away into the darkness before the Audis move off and back to the road. There's little conversation in the Range Rover as Michael takes them back to the Sofitel, but their brains are rolling around with thoughts and ideas as the street lights flicker across their faces. Gabby and Talgarth ascend in the lift to the 8th floor bar that has views over the city. They order dirty martinis and sit at a tall table by the windows. Outside, the vast bulk of the Notre Dame Cathedral towers over the Petrus Valley below them, as the water cuts through the heart of the city. "Not what we were expecting," says Talgarth. Gabby has been quiet since the meeting, but now her mind has sorted out what needs to happen. "Our next steps are these, Ivy. Firstly, we must secure the family. That removes the leverage that Karygin thinks he has over us." Talgarth sips her cocktail as she listens. "We can put them into a safe house somewhere," continues Gabby. "After that, we need to find Alexei Orlov. But I have no idea how we do that yet." "We got trackers on the daughter and her boyfriend," says Talgarth. "The ones I deployed at the funeral?" "Yes, check them, can you?" Talgarth uses her MI6 phone to interrogate the tracking application called Newton, used by British intelligence. "I didn't record which tracker is on which person in the rush to plant them," she says. "But the app is showing one still in Prague, but not in the house where they're staying. The other tracker is in Germany, on the autobahn, travelling at speed southwards." Gabby screws up her face. "Maybe the boyfriend has gone away without her? We know his father works for the Russian embassy in Prague. So maybe the boy is significant. He could be a honey trap, trying to get close to the daughter, so the Russians can find her father. As Karygin said, they want him back, and I'll bet they're willing to pay a high price for that. I'll ask GCHQ to run data sweeps," says Talgarth, "to see if they can find any behaviour patterns for him." Gabby nods, then she says, "Can you also call Ralph Boyd in the British Embassy in Prague? I need 2 things. Tell him to go with a couple of security people to wherever the tracker is on the Orlov daughter in Prague. Hopefully the whole family is there too, and we can take them off to an MI6 safe house until the Alexei issue is all sorted. What's the other thing? Ask him to arrange a driver to bring my Aston Martin here to Luxembourg." "Yes, ma'am." Talgarth walks out to make the call, and Gabby raises her hand to order 2 more dirty martinis. It's the beginning of dusk. By the time Ralph Boyd has arranged for the security personnel to accompany him, to bring in the Orlov family to safety. He takes one of the Range Rovers from the Prague embassy, and the 2 security guards follow him in the Land Rover Defender. On the screen inside the lead vehicle, Ralph looks at the sat-nav as it takes them towards a red marker showing the location of the tracker on the skin of Lydia Orlova. The tracker hasn't moved in the last 4 hours. It has remained, resolutely blinking, in the countryside at the edge of the capital, in a district called Lahovici. Ralph has always liked this area, as it reminds him of the rural lanes of Norfolk, where he grew up. He turns off the highway and the road curves around, then runs dead straight, as it bisects the housing of the area. Out of his window he can see 2 vast plains of water. The Barunka River that ends here, after meandering through the ancient Bohemian villages to the west, and the Vltava that has come from the south. Beyond this point, the 2 rivers unite and strike north together. He pulls up outside the house marked on the map, and the Defender stops behind him. When he gets out, he looks along the road as it disappears into the distance. There are no sounds of the city here, only birds making their last songs before the sun steals the day away. The house is white on the lower story with dark tiling above, to match the colour of a steep roof that contains the top floor. Black latticework gates protect the place from the roadway, and Ralph pushes the latch. The security men split and explore each side of the house to assess any dangers. When they return, they nod to him and put their thumbs up to indicate there are no evident immediate risk. Ralph raps on the door. The sound seems to crash the peace in all directions. The 3 of them wait. After half a minute, he knocks again. There's no response, so the security men lead Ralph down the side of the building to a gate. It's locked, but one of them has lock-picking skills, and after a minute, the gate swings open in the dying light of the day. The back garden is overgrown, but was once neat and tidy. A children's swing stands at the far end, nearly engulfed in shrubbery, as the plants take back their possession of it. Along the rear of the house, a set of patio doors leads from the sitting room. They can't pick this lock, so one of the security men smashes a pane of glass in the back door to get them inside. Ralph can tell there's no one here as soon as he walks in. It feels unused, as though it's been empty for a while. The smell of stale air hangs around their nostrils as they start to go through each of the rooms downstairs. They find nothing on this level and climb up the stairs to where there are 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. Ralph can see into the bathroom and into 2 of the bedrooms, as those doors are all open. He takes a cursory glance around each, but nothing is unusual. Nothing is out of place, as though the people were here a moment ago and have just popped out to the shops. The 3rd bedroom door is shut, and he turns the handle. The boy is on the bed. One side of his head is a mass of damage, and the sheets are stained red from the blood that has seeped out of his skull. His eyes are open, staring at the ceiling, but Ralph can tell he's dead the moment that he sees him. He walks over and pushes his eyelids closed. The security men arrive, and Ralph tells them to search the rest of the place for any signs of a weapon or evidence of a fight. They push away into the home, and he pulls out his mobile. When he dials, Gabby answers within a second. "Mum," he says, "this tracker isn't the one on the daughter. It's on the boyfriend, Radek Volkov." "Right," she says. "GCHQ sent more intel on him. He's not of interest to us, Ralph, so you can just leave him and go back to the embassy." "He's dead, Mum." She pauses for a moment. "Murdered?" "Yes, violently." "An assassin?" "Hard to say. It wasn't clean, though. It looks like an amateur." "The question is why?" says Gabby. "He's only 18. I can't think he was a critical piece in a complex Russian intelligence puzzle. That means whoever killed him or ordered his death was trying to stop something happening that this boy was planning. He's just a child." Ralph's voice is sad. "When you call the Prague police," she says, "make sure you stay across the forensic evidence. If they think it's a professional job, then he could be more than just an innocent boy who happened to meet the daughter of a senior Russian spy." "I know his father," says Ralph. "We liaise as part of our cover jobs as cultural attachés in our 2 embassies." "Go and pay him a visit. You can break the news about his son." "Yes, Mum." He is quieter now. "You okay, Boyd?" she says. "Yes, Mum." "Have you seen a dead body before?" "Not this young, Mum." "I understand," she says. "Thank you for helping us." "Thank you, Mum." Gabby ends the call and walks across the corridor to room 612 of the Sofitel. Talgarth opens the door and Gabby walks in. "Ivy, the tracker was the boyfriend. He's dead. Which means the other tracker is on Lydia all over. And hopefully she is with her family. Where is the other tracker now on the map?" Talgarth clicks and types on a laptop on the bed, then scrutinizes the screen. "Italy, Mum. On the coast near Pisa." "Is the tracker stationary?" "Yes." "Then pack your bag. We'll leave in an hour." As the sun sets over the city of Luxembourg, the headlights of Gabby's red Aston Martin Vanquish flick up from the underground parking, and the V12 echoes off the buildings as they head south on the 900-kilometre journey to Forte dei Marmi on the Mediterranean coast of Italy.